Building for events, promoting events, meetings make money. The person in front of the room does. The person with the marker makes the money. We talked about that also, but meetings make money. Your ability to become a good presenter, skill number 3, is critical to building your brand and network marketing, but whether or not you're the presenter, the meetings themselves make money. Let's talk about different kinds of meetings. You got your one-on-one meetings. You've got your two-on-one meetings. You've got your small group meetings. You've got your in-home meetings. You've got local events. You've got regional events. And you have destination events. In my opinion, destination events are the most powerful. The most powerful. Destination events changed my life. Changed everything for me. Once I learned the importance of them, number 1, and how to get more people to attend destination events, number 2, it changed my whole career. There's a couple defining moments that happened for me. The first was one of my early conferences. I was a nobody. Nobody knew my name. I hadn't done anything. Young kid. I scraped up enough money to get to that event. I had no business really doing it. I was using rent money, knowing that there would be additional financial stress when I got home, but also feeling like if I didn't go, then I might not hold on to the dream. So I got to the event, and I stepped out to go to the restroom during a part of the event, and I came back, and imagine like in the back doorway there, I came back trying to find a moment to not be disruptive and go back and sit down, and I'm standing next to one of the top earners. He's making like $80,000 a month. I'm standing next to the big shot, and you're trying to wonder, what do you say? What do you say when you're standing next to the big shot? What do you do when you're standing next to the big shot? So I turned to the big shot, and I got up my courage, and I said, "So, David, what's the secret?" And he had compassion on me, because guess what the real answer to that is? There is no secret. But he knew I wanted some little tip, some little thing that would give me some encouragement. So he said, "Eric, see this room? And I want you to visualize this room." Because it's about the same as when he pointed it out to me. He said, "Eric, see this room, and I'll draw it out for you how I saw it in my mind." He didn't draw it out, but how I saw it in my mind looked like this. Here's the room. Here's the stage. Here's all the people. He said, "Eric, see those 1,000 people in the room? Here's the secret. We do these events 4 times a year in our company. 90 days from today, when we do the next event, half of this room won't be there. They just won't be back. Half of the room will be gone. Now, they might not have quit, but they've stopped being effective. They might still be a distributor, but they're not necessarily a builder. The builder in them has faded. Maybe temporarily, maybe permanently, but the builder's gone. And what's left is this side of the room. We'll fill it up, and it'll be this big, or maybe even bigger. But this side of the room will be making 2 times the amount of everybody else in the room, because they're still builders and they showed up." And he said, "Eric, it doesn't stop there. 90 days later, half of this side of the room will be gone. The builder in them will have faded. It'll be replaced with other people who have hopes of becoming builders, distributors in hopes of becoming builders, and this group will now be making 4 times the amount of money of everybody else in the room." And you won't be able to pick them out necessarily, but if you took a look at their income, you would see in just 2 events from now, 6 months from now, they'll be making 4 times the average of everybody else in the room. And he said, it keeps going, Eric. 90 days after that, these people won't be back. Not that they quit, but they stopped being a builder. They stopped being important to the growth of the organization. Maybe they were part of the stability of the organization. They're back home using the product, talking to the occasional person, making the occasional dollar, but they are not leading the charge any longer. So this side of the room will be making 8 times what everybody else in the room makes. And just 3 months later, guess what, Eric? Half of those people won't be there. They'll be replaced with other people, coming in at their second event, third event, fourth event. He said, Eric, if you just stay and work on your skills from destination event to destination event to destination event, you'll eventually be on stage. You'll eventually be one of the highest income earners. You'll eventually earn your way onto stage, and it'll be fine. He said, but here's the secret. If you skip one, it all starts over. If you just miss one, something happens, something gets in the way, and those of you who are builders, you know what I'm talking about. The person went to 2, 3, and then they missed one, and they basically emotionally had to start over as a builder. So, in my simple little mind, I went, you know what, I can do that. I can be here 3 months from now. I don't know how. I have no idea. But, all right, I'll make the commitment. I'll do it now. I'll decide right now that I'm going to do it. And I would tell you, for your professional skills, you could apply that same principle to GoPro Recruiting Mastery. Here's an example. How many people were here a year ago at this event? Look around. Replaced by others. Just the way it is. Now, how many people will be here next year? We'll ask the same question next year, and we will see. Some of you will have lost your way. Some of you will got your feelings hurt. Some of you will, get your nose bent out of shape, and some of you say, well, it isn't my fault, and all that stuff. But some of you say, no, you know what? Not only am I going to be here, but I'm going to bring a group, because this will be good for them. How many people wish they had more people here at this event? See, I'm going to start a camp. I want to do something in network marketing profession so big that the whole world starts thinking differently about our profession. So, yeah. So I'm actually going to start the registration process early because I want to start a campaign inside of the Network Marketing Pro that all roads lead to this event at the end of the year. Once a year, you go get your profession injection. And then you go back to your company stuff, doing everything, right? But once a year, you're going to dedicate to being here like you'd be at any other trade important annual event.
We can help you with that.
I know you can help me with that. That's awesome. So here's what we're going to do, just so you know. Those of you who get your 2 free tickets, we're going to do the registration process for that early. So, you're set, you're locked up, and then we're going to only open up for you and your people, for those people to register before anybody else even hears about it. And I think we'll sell it out early in the year. And we'll just be solid. You'll be matching those people up, and everybody be committed. They know what they're going to be. And who knows? I mean, I'm thinking, a couple thousand people, but maybe we can go nuts. If we plan early enough, maybe there's 3,000, 4,000 people. Maybe we bring we take the speakers even higher. Maybe, what I want to see is all the stories from what happened this year from people who decided to go crazy. And next year, they're on the stage telling how they did it. That's kind of the vision for that, okay? So I'm going to ask, for those of you who want to lock arms, and let's do something just nuts and extraordinary and crazy. And within a year, or maybe even a year, we can be in an arena going crazy, because we're not charging very much to attend this event. Very, very small amount, and you get all the stuff. So I just want to bring everybody together. So anyway, once I got this, within a few years, I just decided I went to the next event, next event, next event, next event, and it became part of my DNA, and I became so proud that I didn't miss. And I also became, proud's not the word. This will sound strange. This is a young man speaking. A little bit happy when somebody else didn't come back and I did. You know, just because I know that it's going to be somebody, but it's not going to be me. Oh, another one fell? That happens. Oh, they didn't come back? I get it. Oh, they had distractions? Sorry to hear it. It won't be me. I'll be back. See you at the next one with a bigger group. Here's what a destination event does. Let me walk you through some of the benefits of a destination event. You get to get away from your day-to-day distractions. I promise you, the people who live in Las Vegas that are part of this event did not have the same experience than the people who traveled to this event. Because you went home to save a few dollars on the hotel room, and your life's distractions got in the way. You weren't completely immersed in the experience. Total immersion on your dreams. And it started when you got on the plane. And you started to dream, and you started to think, and maybe this could be for me, and maybe this can be my breakthrough, and am I ready? Am I prepared? What's going to happen? Anticipation, enthusiasm, excitement. You can refocus and recommit. Some of you needed a booster to prepare for your next campaign. Some of you needed someone to look up to because maybe everybody's looking up to you, and you needed somebody to say, you know, challenge me. Expect more from me. Gain strength. You're going to get stronger. You leave here, you're stronger, for sure. And it also provides validation and social proof. You know, what I want you to feel is proud of network marketing, proud of the profession that we're involved in, proud that we are doing something different, proud that we're going to be rescuing people and raising the bar. Proud of the fact that you're working hard and you're seeing validation that it's okay to work hard. Because when it's lonely out there, it's important to see some friends in here. Just to know that they exist. To see the people on the panel to say, you know what? They were in the same struggle that I was in. Okay, now I can see a picture for myself. That's what a destination event does. And it also provides some positive peer pressure. Positive peer pressure. How many feel like you got to do some stuff between now and next December in order to be able to walk in here the way you want to walk in here? Why? Because you saw all this other stuff and you said, you know, doggone it, what have I been doing? Last year I spent in a coma. I'm not going to spend this year in a coma. I'm going to go. So if you take two groups of people, for any destination event, whether it's this or any other event, you're going to do a big event. How many people have a group or company event coming up? Okay? The rest of you don't? Really? If you don't, schedule one. Group A has 100 people, and it's a priority, and all of them attend. And Group B has 100 people. It's not a priority, and only a handful attend. Who's going to win? Group A. It's just an automatic. What Mr. Hollis said, that his main priority was dragging bodies to events like this because the event did all the work. He was there to have some passion and enthusiasm to be able to help them move forward, but all the work was done by third-party people. He was cool. He was done. While other people just kind of, they announced the event, Robert promoted the event. Announcers are the amateurs. Promoters are the professionals. You got to make it a priority. So learning how to promote. Let's talk about learning how to promote. Number one, be more committed than anybody else to that next event. If you've got a next event with your company, be more committed than anybody else. Make it obvious. Lead by example. Be the first one to get registered. Be the first one to get your hotel room and your airfare and start telling that story. With your airline or with the tickets to the actual event, find a way. Don't say, yeah, I'm going to start promoting it, but I'm not going to get my ticket until later because I've got some other stuff going on. Get your ticket. Show the proof. Make a little copy of it. Put it in the email. Here's my confirmation. Where's yours? Childcare, find a way. Distractions, find a way. Travel, find a way. There were times when I had to drive a long way to an event with a car full of smelly people for 12 hours to get to an event. There were times when I had a lot of people in my group that couldn't afford it but needed to be there, and we rented a bus. Put everybody in the bus. We watched videos the whole way there. We built a community in doing that. Find a way. Instead of taking that direct flight, you might have to do that 5-connection flight that takes you around the world and doesn't make any sense. You know, when that happened to me, here's how I looked at it. How many people need to start a new line really, really bad? Here's how I looked at it, and I'm not kidding. The more connections, the more opportunities. The more connections on a flight, the more chances I'm going to sit next to somebody in a flight, the more chances I'm going to meet somebody in that lounge, the more chances I'm going to talk to people who are grabbing my bag, the more chances. And I started tons of lines over the course of my career through travel. Because you're out of your comfort zone and you can experiment, you can be more free with yourself, you can try lots of different things. So it might be a good strategy to take 5 flights to go 1,000 miles. That's the way I looked at it. I reframed it in my head. Direct flight, I only get 1 shot. Find a way. Accommodations, find a way. I'm not a big believer in finding accommodations away from the host hotel because there's so much magic that happens in the hall, in the lounge, in all the different conversations during the breaks. And if you find, I've done it before where you found something off-site. Let me tell you what I would prefer you do. Stay on site and put 12 people in a room if you have to. Seriously. I've done that. People sleeping in the bathtub. People sleeping on, no joke, arriving with an inflatable mattress so they could slide it next to the bed, and they'd throw in there asking the hotel for some extra blankets when they didn't have blankets, using towels. I'm not kidding. If you're hungry, you can make it happen. And we made it fun. We made it an adventure. When we didn't have food, we'd go to the hotel, or we'd go to the place where we can get a loaf of bread and some stuff to make sandwiches with. We bought the inexpensive stuff. The mini bar was strictly off limits. Lock that thing up because you'll get destroyed. When you don't have very much money, and you went, how much was that bottle of water? What? I just had like a few peanuts. $14 for a few peanuts? Now I don't care, but back then I cared, right? So get creative, find a way. So number 1 is you. Number 2 is grow your team's attendance number. There's a big difference between it being an announcer and being a promoter. Create a culture in your organization where attendance is expected. Not demanded. Expected. It is the culture of your organization. That yes, of course we're all going. Take nothing for granted. It's your job to make sure that they are attending. Don't say, oh yeah, I'm sure they are. Because they're usually not. Don't take it for granted that they've registered. Do some accountability inside your group where you send a weekly email out because the company has given you a printout of everybody in your downline that's registered for the event. and you send a weekly email with their names. Here's the people who've registered. Congratulations. For the rest of you, hurry up. So the leader goes, really? You're going to send the email? All right, I can't wait any longer. All right, I'll do it. I'm not kidding. This is, if you were a publicly traded company, the most important number in your quarterly report would be the growth of people attending a destination event on your team. If it's dropping, they'll sell your stock. If you don't know how many it is, they'll sell it all the way to zero. If it's growing, they'll buy more stock. If it's growing dramatically, they'll tell everybody else to buy. This is the indicator for big growth, big income in your business. Don't buy other people's stories. I have people come to me and say, well, you know, I talked to Mike and, you know, let's say Ace went to Mike and he said, Mike, you going to the event. And Mike tells Ace, you know what, there's a birthday party that weekend, and we had this picnic that's been planned, and, you know, we've got some other stuff, and I've got a little bit of extra, you know, overtime at work, so it's just not going to work this time. So bring me back the notes, Ace. Bring me back the notes. So Ace tells me this. Mike's not coming because of this, this, and this. And I'm not saying you bought his story, but most people just buy that story. I can't tell you the thousands of times that I hear that story and I go to Mike and say, Mike, tell me it's not so. Really? Let me tell you the vision of what this event is going to do. Let me tell you the importance of what it's going to be for your career. Let me tell you, not only do you need to be there, but we got to grow the number of people on your team to be there. This is your life we're talking about. We're not talking about a party. A party could be rescheduled. Your life is waiting for you. We got to go make this thing happen. And he says, all right. Within 3 minutes, he goes, you're right. But now do I take it for granted that he's going to do it? No. I say to Ace, listen, first of all, you bought his story. Don't buy his story again or anybody else's story because it's not true. It's an illusion. You got to do a better job of painting a picture. Now, I want you to let me know when his ticket is reserved, his airfare is done, his hotel is taken care of. Send me an email. So I give him an assignment. I send him on his way. Don't buy other people's stories because they're not real. They're complete illusions. There was a bunch of you that were telling yourself a story about why maybe it wasn't right for you to be here. You know, John and Tiffany, they had a million reasons. Other side of the country, a lot of stuff going on. You know, they're in the middle of massive momentum. Can they afford a weekend? All that stuff. They said, you know what? No, I'm not going to buy that story. You know, let's go refresh ourselves. Tell your story. Don't buy theirs. Tell your story. Paint a picture in someone's mind of the benefit that they will receive if they attend. Paint a picture. So that's some basics on how to promote destination events, but you got to learn how to promote all events. The best in this profession promote all events. They're great at promoting a conference call. You got to be on it. You got to be on it. And you make it a priority. You make it part of your culture. You make it the expectation. If you do that, you'll do well. Some people announce conference calls. Other people promote conference calls. The difference is between amateur income and professional income. Which one do you want to have, amateur or professional? Professional. That means you need to, if there's a conference call and it's an important part of your growth, you don't take it for granted. You are more committed. You are telling your story. You're not buying other people's story. Back in the TPN days, we did a Monday night communication show. And people would watch it on their televisions at home. And here's what we did. We'd create this show every week, and we'd do this show. And then when we went to, we knew we needed to drive it into the culture and make sure every leader was watching, because once a week we could make sure that they were solid, on track, on point. They knew everything that was going on. We could make 52 course corrections during the year. And we created, in my opinion, the most talented sales force and trained sales force ever that went on to be able, they're in companies all over the world today, being top leaders because they were so well trained. But guess what we did? If we talked to a leader, we asked them what was on the last Monday's call, and if they couldn't tell us, we wouldn't talk to them. Serious. I'm not talking to you. You know, what was the training topic on the Monday night call? I was busy doing presentations. I do not want to hear it. Either this is important or it's not. Either it's a priority or it's not. Either this is what we're going to do together or it's not. I need you locked in. You got all week to do presentations. I need you to carve out an hour, and we need to lock arms together. You're either in or you're out. If you're out, I don't have time to re-educate you all week long because I'm working with the people who are in. This is what leaders do. Conference calls, webinars, home events, local events, regional events, company events. The best in the world promote these events. They do not announce them. They promote them. They promote them. One of the things I challenged Ace to do. Last year, Ace and Gina were here with how many? Anybody in your group? It was just the two of them. They were here last year. And I said, look, I want to challenge you. Would it be beneficial if you had more people here? And today, how many people? About 30 people came to this event. How hard did you need to promote? You didn't just announce it, did you? It was an expectation. It was a priority. It was people coming in from all over the place. Some didn't even know what they were coming in for, but they're coming in because it was part of what we did. You went hard, both of you, right? Now, how many think Ace is going to have a better year next year than he had last year? Hello? So destination events are the secret sauce. They are amazing. They're unbelievable. However, you got to be good at promoting conference calls, webinars, home events, local events, regional events, company events. This is a skill set that is important for you to focus on and become a promoter, not just an announcer. All right. Here's what I would also tell you. I'll tell you, first of all, network marketing is not perfect. It's just better. Second, if you're going to do it, decide to be a professional. Third, like any profession, you need to develop some skills. Fourth, anything worthwhile takes time. You can relax, understand that you're going to build some skills, but also you can earn while it's taking time. Don't get me wrong. But to become an expert takes time. It never ceases to amaze me in network marketing. One of the things that we need to change in network marketing is a person who starts a traditional business, their expectation is to maybe break even in their, number one, invest a lot of money. Number two, maybe break even in their first year. Number three, in 3, 4, 5 years, get their initial investment back. And then number four, after that, hope to have a profit. That's a traditional business model. Everybody accepts it. It's part of the world. Nobody questions it. It just is what it is. But in network marketing, everybody expects to get in month 1, get their money back in month 2, make a profit in month 3, and in month 4, they're rich. And if that doesn't happen, they're just all bent out of shape. Why do you think the rules of the world aren't going to apply here? Now, you can definitely accelerate things based upon the old model, but it's still going to take time. And it's okay. We're not selling magic beans here. You can't just drop a couple beans in the ground and up goes the beanstalk all the way into the heavens and you climb up there and you grab your gold. It doesn't work that way. You got to build the beanstalk. You don't just drop it into the ground and dump some water on it. Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers said it takes 10,000 hours for a person to become an expert at anything. 10,000 hours, which works out to 5 years at how many hours a day? 40 hours a week for 5 years to become an expert at network marketing. I think that's about accurate. Part-time, a little longer. Your income might take a lucky jump between now and those 10,000 hours. You might be in the right place at the right time. Your company's got momentum. You hit lightning in a bottle. But if you want to keep the money, continue to become an expert. My first 90 days, I made some money. My first 90 days, my first month's check was $7,400. My second month's check was $12,200 back in 1988. My third month's check was $1,098.60. I had my little spike, and then reality set in. So your income might take a lucky jump, but don't count on it. Some of you are in the middle of a run of a lifetime. Do not get lazy in the middle of your run, because the income will come back down to the level of expert that you actually are. Give it some time, it will do it. The best in the world stay focused on being a professional. Anything worthwhile takes time. And we have to do better at the marketing of our profession to be able to let people know it's okay. You know, instead of the 40-year plan, we have a 40-week plan. Well, that's not really true. You know, it's okay. You know what I found out in the marketing of network marketing? People respond very well to saying you're going to have to work hard. They're okay with that. So long as there's a plan, they're okay with, it's not going to be free and easy. Now, you'll get people to jump into your company, with the promise of, hey, it's simple, anybody can do it. All you got to do is talk to a couple people. They'll do the same thing, and they'll do the same thing. Pretty soon you can sit back, see the mansion, see the helicopter, see the airplane. That's possible. But what did you hear from this panel? They work hard. They work hard. Get rich quick, no work involved, this thing sells itself. None of those things are true. Not one of those phrases is true. Product sells itself. No, it doesn't. The company wouldn't need you. We sell our products. We promote our opportunities. We promote the things that can change our lives, right? We work. We get rich, but we earn it. We earn it. It wasn't given to us. The 1-3-5-7 formula. It's going to take you approximately 1 year for you to become competent and profitable in your business. Approximately 1 year. To learn the basics, pay for your product, cover your expenses to go to the events, make a few bucks, have some fun. It's going to take you about 3 years for you to be able to get to a six-figure income if you want to. And you're committed during those 3 years of consistent learning, consistent effort. It's going to take about 5 years for you to become a multiple six-figure earner. And it's going to take you about 7 years for you to become world-class. You'll go as high as you can imagine. That's about what it's going to take. Now, is that a bad plan in the real world? If they offered that, put it up on the billboard, is that a pretty good plan? Yes, there's a lot of work involved, there's a lot of dedication involved, a lot of skill development involved. But that's the reality of what it's going to take. So let's talk about how to learn. Let's take a few minutes and talk about how do you learn skills. If it's going to take time, how do you learn? There are some things that I've been lucky enough to absorb and use in my life that have really helped. One is to become an active student. Become an active student. What did you hear from the panel? All of the people on this panel were still students today. They're still learning, they're still taking notes, they're still in the front row. They are an active student. They are actively looking for ideas without distractions, which is a skill. Ideas that can help without bringing in distractions to the group. Become an active student. There's no good or bad experiences in network marketing, only learning experiences. So your job is to increase the number of experiences. There's no good, there's no bad, just learning experiences. So increase the number of experiences, increase your activity. If you increase the number of experiences, you can increase your learning by being an active student. Always learning, growing, and getting better. Never stop learning. Next. Model successful behavior. Here's what I need you to know. The hard work's been done for you. It's already been done. You don't have to think it all through and come up with these strategies and make it all happen. It's all been done for you. You don't need to invent or reinvent something. All the skills that you need are available at your fingertips with some desire. Now, there's some people who pretend to have the skills and don't. You know, they're selling something, whatever. They've got, oh, you haven't had success in this direction? I can solve that and give you some training in another direction. And you've got to be careful that you're modeling the right behavior. You're modeling somebody who's got the results that you want to get. Be careful, because a lot of people are very seductive in their words about, you know, hey, I can shorten this for you. Study. Study. There's a difference between, there's a personal growth epidemic in network marketing. And this is it. I've got my books here. I've got my audios here. I've got my videos here. I'm sitting in the event, and I'm just absorbing. I'm kind of like in the audience watching a movie, okay? It's just kind of wave upon wave of feel good. I feel a little bit better, okay? Do you? Okay. They've listened to that program a million times or whatever, but they haven't applied what they've learned to study. Take something deep. Go pick a skill and study that skill until you own it. Not just these waves of feel good. Study the skill until you have it in your bone marrow. You've got it cold, so you can teach it, you could show other people. It's on a subconscious level. You're ready to go. So study. Use audio, but use it to study, not just to feel good. Use books. Use them to study a particular skill set, not just to feel good. Video to study. Online to study. Events to study. Not because you could spend 10 years kind of getting wave after wave of passive personal development and not become world class at anything. You're kind of generally a little bit better with your attitude on everything, but you're not prepared really to lead because you haven't studied. Be careful of distractions. In our online world, there's a million people going to be offering a million things. They're on every advertising page. That you're getting emails with it. Your Facebook friends are talking about this special whiz-bang thing. Be focused on your study agenda. What are the skills that you must study and focus on? Focus on those skills. Ignore the rest until those skills are mastered. Until you master these 7 skills that we talked about over this weekend, do not look to anything else. Nothing. Master these 7 and let the rest of it go. I'm sorry, right now I'm focusing on finding prospects. Right now I'm focusing on inviting. I'm going to become the best in the world at inviting. I'm focused on becoming a great presenter. I'm focused on following up and teaching other people how to do the same thing. I'm focused on getting people started effectively. I'm focused on building for events. Don't talk to me. I got to go interview some people that are great at getting people to events. Focused. Avoid going down the rabbit hole with these little fancy ideas that promise a shortcut. There's other skills to develop. There's leadership things that we need to develop. There's things like that. But until you learn those basic 7 and you have them mastered, none of them are important, in my opinion. Practice, practice, practice. There's a thing called activity knowledge. Most of the learning in network marketing is in the doing. You getting out there and just do it and learn and do it and grow. Don't wait for the skills. That's just avoidance behavior. Well, once I get the skills, once I study it, once I master it, then I will go out there and apply it. No, you're going to study, yes, but you're going to learn more from the doing than you are from the study. There's only so much you can learn by trying to absorb it and study it. You got to go out there and actively do it. Here's a good phrase for you. It's hard to look good and get better at the same time. Let go of that. Hard to look good and get better at the same time. This is one of the biggest ones of my whole life. It's a concept called plan, do, review. Myself and another guy, we were looking for a network marketing product back in the early 90s. And we traveled all over the country. And we found this organization called the High Scope Educational Research Foundation in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And they had this progressive way of teaching children how to learn more effectively. And they presented it. It didn't turn into a network marketing product, but their presentation to me of what this really did blew my mind. He said, here's what they teach every day in school. When the kids come in, at the beginning of the day, they make a plan for their day. And then they do their plan for the day. And at the end of the day, they review their results so they can make a better plan for tomorrow. And I went, oh, that's really good for kids. But all I was thinking about is, that's amazing for me. If I want to learn a skill, all I have to do is apply that, like applying a knife to a grinding wheel. If I apply that knife to the grinding wheel, it's going to make that knife sharp. My axe is going to get sharp by plan, do, review. The plan, do, review is the wheel going around one time. And then you plan, do, review, the wheel goes around another time. A little sharper, a little better. Because if I make a plan to go invite somebody, here's my plan, here's my little approach, here's what I'm going to do. I do it, and then afterwards, just like Bill Austin says, I debrief myself. I looked through everything that I could have done better, what I did good, what I did bad, what worked, what didn't work, what could I improve, and I use that to make a better plan. And I do it again and 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 again, understanding that over time I'll get great. So if you're building for a destination event in your company, make a plan to do that. Do it, and then review it as soon as the event is over. How can I do better? I'm already doing that 1,000 different ways with this weekend's event. You know, we're in the process of do, and I'm already reviewing how we're going to be better for next time. That's why every event you come to that we do will always be better than the last one, and always be better than the last one, because this is part of our DNA. Plan, do, review. Choose a skill you want to develop, make a plan, do your plan, review your results to see how you can do better, and repeat. This is the simplest but most powerful little concept for skill development, learning, that I've ever had in my life. It's worked for 20 years. It's helped to shape me who I am. It's also helped millions of other people do the same thing from this little High Scope Educational Research Foundation in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Plan, to review. That little secret changed my life. And one more on how to learn. Teaching. If you teach, you'll absorb. If you teach, you will learn. If you teach, it'll burn a groove in your brain. If you teach, you have to prepare. If you teach, it's one of the best ways in the world to learn. If you want to master something, teach it. You don't have to master it first. Just start teaching it, and you will master it. Take good notes. Start teaching. And that teaching, your own words will be training you, even if you're reading the words off of the paper from somebody else's notes. It will start programming your mind for success in whatever skill that you're trying to promote. You get the benefit of repetition. The other person hears it once. You get to hear it 1,000 times. Start wherever you are and grow from there. Start wherever you are and grow from there. Last thing on how to learn. Your associations, the people you hang out with. They'll either help you grow or they will stop you from growing, or they'll slow your growth down. They have a huge impact on your growth. You got to be so careful of your associations when you're growing and you're learning. The law of association says you're going to become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So find a way to get in front of people who are better at inviting, people who are better at presenting, people who are better at following up, people who are better at building for events. If you hang out with people who are great at building for events, guess what? You're going to become great at building for events. Just by osmosis, it's going to happen. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And what you can do about that, the most positive thing you can do about that is expand your association with people who are powerful. Simple as that. Expand your association with people who have the skills that you want. And let me talk to you about, we talked about network marketing isn't perfect, it's just better. If you're going to do it, be a professional. Like any profession, there are skills you need to develop. Anything worthwhile takes time. And what I will tell you also, it's all worth it. It's worth it. The work, the effort, what this profession will do for you, it's worth it. Number one, for the career you're going to create. The career. Why do I dislike the word industry and I love the word profession? One says we're dabbling in this little project. The other one says, no, this is a career. This is a profession. This is like a designation like a doctor has. This is real stuff. And we are network marketing professionals. The career you'll create, here's the thing that I know. Regardless of circumstance, and there will be heartbreak in almost everybody's career, in any career path. There will be heartbreak. You'll experience some of that pain. But if you develop your skills, your career will make a place for you. You'll be fine. Your career as a professional, if your company blows up, you'll be able to find a company that aligns with your interests and you'll be able to go help people there because you're a professional, not because you were in the right place, the right time, great positioning, whatever, ground floor nonsense. The career you'll create. Number 2, the freedom you'll enjoy. The freedom. If I were to describe network marketing in one word, it would be freedom. Freedom to not have to compromise. Freedom to choose what you want to do with your time. Freedom to have choices. Freedom to be able to move and do what you want to do when you want to do it. Freedom to be able to help other people. Freedom to be who you were meant to be, because most jobs will not allow you to be what you are meant to be. Your value to the organization is to be a function, not to be your best self. You're to solve a problem for them, not to be your best self. The freedom you're going to enjoy. Number 3, the lives you're going to touch. Legacy, impact, contribution, being a citizen of the world, being connected to other human beings, seeing them light up, seeing their stories. Like on the panel, the stories that I saw touched me, like they always do. And those are just a few examples. I know that we've been connected. Some of us, we might not know each other well, but we know each other well. You know what I mean? We're connected on almost a family level. And we'll continue to be connected.